because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion.
What's up? Welcome to Indian Box Television. We are on episode 85. We will be talking about gun laws we burn now. Yep, my name is Weepy.
Troy Everett, how's everybody doing out there? Drummer hasn't made it in yet. He may come on or he may not. He's working out some things right now. So me and Sharif are going to hold you guys down. What's been going on, Sharif, up there in Michigan, man? What's the weather like? I'm interested to know.
The weather went up and down. It goes up to I think 58, 70 something for a little bit, then it goes right back down to 40 something, 30 something.
Oh man.
So it's tricky weather.
Hey Breon, what's going on? My cousin Breon is on, has showed up today. Thanks, man, for coming on. We're going to be talking about gun law reform today. We're just going to chop it up a little bit. How you doing up there, Breon? Breon is up there in Michigan too.
Thank you for coming on, Breon.
Yeah, we really enjoy having you on, man, and having the discussion. Want everybody to know that we're on every Thursday, 8 p.m. We talk about different subjects and social matters. And tonight, after everything that's going on, we want to talk about, gun reform. What can we do? It's kind of a sick state that we're in here in America. And just want to put this out there. Do you know from April 1st to April 18th, there's been a mass shooting every day? Every day there's been a mass shooting. So there's got to be some kind of reform that we can talk about. But we'll get to that in a minute. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Drummer will be showing up pretty soon. He may or may not show up today. So we're going to hold it down. Make sure you share, like, if you're on YouTube, comment. Even on here, you can comment. And if you'd like to come on the show, we would really like to get, your participation. We love it when you text in, your comments. We'll make sure we put your comments up. But if you would like to come on the show, let me go ahead and get that, the green room link. So the green room link, if you have a mobile device, your phone, a pad, some kind of pad, or even your computer at home, make sure you're well lit, your camera's on and your mic's on, and you can join us live on the show.
Yes, and also make sure you keep your lights on so I can read your lips. And you guys can come in and join in and talk just like we're talking right now.
Yep, just like we're talking right now. So I put that link up. It says green room link. All you have to do actually is just click, and you can come right on the show. So for those of you that have something to say about anything, really, just come on and say hi. We'd love to talk to you. So it's NBA playoffs. Who's your team, Sharif?
My team. You know what? I would like to see Chris Paul win.
So that makes Phoenix.
I would like to see them win. Yep. And plus they got Kevin Durant, and they also got Booker.
Yeah, from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yep. Right.
Yep. Yeah, Booker's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. My team is they're in trouble right now, but the reigning champions. I've been following those guys. Golden State. I like Golden State.
Okay.
I love the coach. I love the organization. I love the way that they play. But they're in trouble right now. I don't like the fact that Green is stomping on people's chests.
Oh, I saw that part. Yeah. Is Curry playing? Curry hurt his ankle?
Yeah, Curry is playing. Curry is playing. They're just turning the ball over. They're not protecting the ball. You can't win that way.
Right. Especially in the playoffs.
Good. Interesting subject. I like Golden State too. What's up with Green? Green has got some mental issues. I think it's the Flint water, Breon, because you know he's from Flint. It's probably the water in Flint that he drank as a child. So he's probably got some cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Hey London, glad you made it on. My uncle Brian, his team was always the Lakers, and I truly miss him so much. Because this time of the year, I would get phone calls all the time, even though he would probably not be happy with the Lakers right now. But that was his team. He was a diehard Laker fan. I love my uncle Brian to death. He would call me and we would talk basketball for hours. I really miss those conversations. So we got Brian that just popped in. Hey, Brian.
Brian. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing really well. Love the 10-gallon hat there, man. Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of delay going, but yeah.
Okay, a little bit of delay. Are you still watching us on your other device? Because you might be hearing the other, the
Not
stream.
anymore.
Okay, there you go. Turn that down and turn us up. You should be able to hear us just fine. Man, we appreciate you coming on. How's the family doing?
Good.
So who is your team?
I gotta say, man, I like Curry.
Good.
Lakers.
I missed the comment though about the water. That made me.
Yeah, so it might be the Flint water, but Draymond's always known for doing stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's a tough player. He's really passionate, but the guy was grabbing his leg, but he didn't have to use him as a trampoline to get down the court. Yeah, so it was pretty bad.
I remember last year that his mother got on Twitter, was trying to tell him to play right.
Oh yeah, his mom will give him the business. His mom will definitely give him the business.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sheena. Good evening. Sheena's tuning in from Grand Rapids, London. She loves Golden State. Sheena says, "Hey, Brian." Sheena and Brian went to high school together at Christian High School.
1991.
Yes, class of '91. I went to the other school, Preston, which is it doesn't even exist anymore. Makes me feel old. Yeah, so we're just gonna let a couple more people get on here, Brian. Again, thank you for showing up. And this is what we want. We want more people to come on. I know, Brian, you're more on the conservative side, and we want to hear from everybody from conservative to left to right. And I'm glad that you came on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Bree? What you doing now, man? You're retired, aren't you?
I am retired, but I'm going to college at Ferris State in Big Rapids, Michigan. I got a criminal justice degree a couple years ago. Now I'm going for a human resources degree.
Okay, great.
So I'm one of those guys. I actually have an exempt concealed pistol license, which allows me to go out to schools, churches, wherever, every place in Michigan except for a casino.
Except for a casino.
Yeah.
How did you get that?
The ways you can get that in Michigan is if you're a former law enforcement officer in good standing when you leave the service. In my case, I got it because I'm a licensed private investigator, which involves a little more. I have to provide references to the state, basically.
Okay.
So it's not like, hey, I'm just gonna go and get this. You know, you gotta do a little bit to get it.
Yeah, you gotta file some paperwork. So me and Sharif were talking earlier today, and we were talking about the red flag laws.
Yeah.
Now, could you explain to us? Do you know much about the red flag laws?
No,
I know they differ in every state, right?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a state issue, but the idea is that you could notify law enforcement, and they would have to go to a court and say, "Hey, Troy is acting crazy. You know, you need to do something." And a judge would look at it and evaluate the evidence, if there is any, and say, you know, we might need to temporarily suspend your license or your ability to purchase firearms or ammunition or anything like that. And it, you know, it could be a good tool until some people start abusing it and just start calling and saying, "Hey, I don't like Sharif." That's what they're thinking inside, and it's like, I'm gonna call on them, and then I don't know what the defense is.
Right.
So, I mean, it's new. Michigan, I don't think has anything yet, but I know there's a few states out there that have. I think California, Oregon. I'm not sure outside of that.
Okay. And hey, Christy Polk. Christy's made it on. She's always on every week. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for coming on. We're talking about all these crazy people with guns today, Christy. So make sure you, if you have any questions or comment, Brian is really been in the military. You retired from the military. So shoot, that was what? How many years?
23 years. I retired in 2016, but that didn't qualify me to get my license, and it shouldn't.
Okay. So just being a military member doesn't qualify you. You had to go through and get a particular licensing as a private investigator and other sorts, right?
Right, yeah. And just because somebody was, even if they were in law enforcement, there needs to be a bar that everybody has to go to. You know, a lot of people in the military don't handle firearms on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah. So you just can't come out of the military and automatically think you're gonna be able to get a firearm or be able to have a concealed firearm.
Right, concealed one.
So let me ask you this: with the red flag laws, it's a great tool, you said, but it could be dangerous. Let me ask you this: so somebody does put this in, right? And I'm flagged. I'm a red flag. I got a red flag. What's stopping me from going through these loopholes, which would be going to like a gun show and purchasing?
Well, I would say, what's going to stop a criminal from doing anything? Nothing. You know. So if a criminal's going to do something, somebody that's in violation or its temporary status of a red flag law, I don't think that's going to be able to stop anybody.
Right.
I mean, Pandora's box is open.
Yeah. So even with gun, go ahead, Sharif.
Oh well, I was just saying that Christian just had a question with so there isn't any real requirement to buy a car. I'm sorry, a gun now. Correct?
Yeah, correct. So Brian, that's the question that's been posed. So is there any real requirements to buy a gun now?
There are. So handguns, pistols, and the like, you have to register. Okay, I'm going to talk about Michigan a little bit. But in Michigan, you have to have those registered. So you have to go down to your local police department or sheriff's department to register that firearm. Mm-hmm. And they take the serial number, take your name, your address, phone number, everything. So, and as far as other weapon systems like maybe shotguns. I don't think shotguns that require a license or registration.
Right.
So there's a big difference between concealable firearms like pistols and ones you can't conceal.
Right. So, okay, she has another question, I think. Do I have to prove I know how to use it?
Well, if you're going for a pistol license, you have to take a class in Michigan. It's about $100. You have to go. It's about it's about an 8-hour course, and at the end of it, you have to qualify on a range.
Right.
Yeah, and Christy is in Georgia, so depends on what type of gun you want to buy, Christine. Like Brian said, you could go to Walmart right now and buy a shotgun and not have to worry about anything. You go to Walmart and get a rifle. These are considered hunting weapons. But a concealed weapon like a pistol or a handgun, yes, you have to get some kind of licensing. Let me ask you this, Brian. With all the mass shootings out there, and you can chime in too, Sharif. What I'm talking about is here in Florida. They have passed a law where you do not need to have a concealed weapons permit to carry. Do you think that deters or helps the situation when it comes to all these, or does it just make everything worse?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think it's going to depend on the individual. I would like some sort of training to go and some kind of accountability to go to get a license like that. In Michigan, they have an open carry law, so you can wear a pistol on your hip with no training. But a lot of places can ban that. So all you have to do is put up a notice saying no open carry. And even though it's legal to carry in Michigan with a pistol on your hip, if you go to a business and it has posted that it's no open carry, it then becomes trespassing, and they can call law enforcement on you if you don't leave.
Okay. So private properties or private ownerships like restaurants or such, they could post that on the wall and then you're not allowed to take it in there. Is that
right?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's go ahead, Sharif.
But if everybody get the gun, I think they ought to know the law before they even get a gun. Because there's a lot of people that have mental problems, and they can walk in there and get guns. So that's too open. It's way too open.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think Brian said that like Pandora's box has been opened. So how do you close this box? Without infringing on everybody's Second Right amendments, because that's what everybody's afraid of. Hey, they're going to take our guns. Nobody's trying to take your guns. Look, if you're 12 years old, you can't get in a car and drive, right? If you're 16 years old, you can get a license to drive that car. You're legal to drive that car. You have to have insurance, right? You have to have insurance. You have to have proof of insurance, registration, and a license just to drive the car. Now, do you think some of those type of things should be added on to people that have guns, especially pistols? I'm not talking about rifles or hunting equipment. I'm talking about concealed pistols. Do you think people should carry insurance, or have to have insurance, or have to have a gun license? Period.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I do carry insurance. I have a bond, mainly because I'm a private investigator. But yeah, I have liability insurance in case something happens. And although it's not required, I mean, it's a really good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
It's low cost. Mine's $100 a year, and I have I have like a $25,000 liability, insurance off of that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna carry a firearm, you should consider that, and you should consider training on a continual basis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that thinking about this and just seeing the mass shootings that happened there and in Michigan at Michigan State, down there in Tennessee, like I said, just this month they haven't updated the white website yet, but the mass shootings, there's been a mass shooting every day from April 1st to the April 18th. Do you think this is our society is really sick, Brian? Because this is not a this is not an occurrence. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring if I can find it. I had a chart here that said number of mass shootings, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share this on the screen. And guess what? We're number one. We're number one. Not a good thing. But yeah, if you can see that statistic, Russia comes in second. This is mass shooting by country. Russia comes in second, and then France at 8. And this is per capita when you look at the data, and that is really bad. That's nothing to be proud about. So do you think it's do you think it's just an American mindset? Is it the video games and all that?
I mean, it could be partially. I would also say I'm not sure if we can trust Russia's reporting mechanisms.
That's true.
But no, it's definitely a problem. I mean, yeah, it is a problem, and I think it is probably a mindset problem. But I mean, when you look back, a few years back when we were in high school, I don't remember all this going on. And I remember at some of our schools, people actually brought stuff to school during hunting season. I don't know if they did that. Did they do that at your school?
Yeah, but it wasn't for hunting.
I don't know. I know. I went to Grand Rapids Christian, but I also know at Forest Hill Central that happened.
Right.
And things didn't happen, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They got every state has different law. Do you think that every state should combine in one and see if they can?
I can see an advantage to that, but I really think that it should be left up to the individual state.
So you don't think there should be a federal law about gun reform?
I don't know about if I'd say that, but I think that the state should have the ultimate say in what's going on within the state.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. With the state, you really don't want the feds involved in everything because they screw stuff up quickly. Christine said, I want a gun. I need to take training. I think teachers should be trained to have a gun at work. That's messed up. There should be 1 to 3 trained and armed teachers on each hallway. What do you guys think about that one?
Oh
man. Yeah. I get that, and I was talking to somebody. You heard of Tommy Brand Steakhouse?
Yeah.
And I was talking to him about what you guys maybe suggested before is running for local office, and I was thinking of making some sort of something that would allow a school to have a person there. Not necessarily a teacher. I think it's unfair to put it on a teacher to teach kids, what a lot of times requires a master's degree in itself.
Right.
And then go ahead and add the firearms training to it. I think that's 2 different stress levels that somebody doesn't need. I think there should be one and then the other.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we didn't need these people at their schools, but I would advocate that if a school wants to have a resource officer or something along those lines, I think they should be able to get them, and I think the state should have to pay for it.
Exactly. And I don't think it should be police officers.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think police officers have any place. It should have any place within any public school or private school for that matter. And again, like you said, Brian, that's an excellent idea. The state should pay for it. Whether, and we're talking about Sharif,
The
her last question. Yeah. Uh, so Christine said that she's a teacher and she wants to buy a gun, and she thinks that there should be 1 to 3 trained armed teachers in each hallway. Brand says that there should be somebody there, but not a teacher, right?
I mean,
Because
I
they've
wouldn't be
got
opposed to a
right.
teacher, but I wouldn't require that of them.
Oh, understood, understood. So yeah, I mean, now we got more guns in schools, right?
Yeah, right.
then the kids gonna really feel some type of way,
Yeah, I think I think Bram brought up a great point. The teachers should be there to teach, and they shouldn't have to worry about, pulling a firearm.
Right.
And if there was resources by the state that had somebody there that was registered and trained in security or that sort of thing, that is not that is not within law enforcement. I think that's a great idea. You said you were thinking about running for local office, Brian.
Yeah. Yep.
Let us know because we will head up your campaign free of charge.
I have a meeting with someone that just finished, got term limited out of
Mhm.
Wyoming, and so I got a lot of questions on some things. So
Okay, once you get everything and you're ready to announce it, let us know. We'll put together the media package. We'll do everything you need. Like I said, free of charge. We're gonna make you look. You'll win. Put it this way: you're gonna win. We'll make sure you win. We're winners over here.
all right.
So yeah, and then we've talked about that. Running for local office. We think a lot of us need to do that as just citizens. In our community. And Bria and I would, man, we will be on your team 100%, and we'll make sure you get those votes. So Sheena says, what'd she say? She said yes. So there you go. You got a vote there. But anyhow, um, I'm trying to make sure we got all the questions. Yep, we got all the questions. Um, there was like it's almost depressing to look at the news. I mean, you look at Fox and you look at CNN. I look at them both, and NPR. I look at all the news feeds because everybody has a narrative, right? Everybody has a narrative. They're talking to certain people, so I look at both sides of the fence and try to figure it out for myself. But if you look at the news, you got a man reportedly shot a 6-year-old and her parents in North Carolina. He was arrested. You got 5 people facing murder charges for the Sweet 16 party massacre. Bullet holes everywhere, a scene for a quadruple murder in Maine. Um, eh, it's just it's it's nonstop. It is nonstop. So what we're talking about today, everybody, is gun reform. Um, what are some of the ways that we could stop these mass shootings? I have no clue, Bran.
Yeah,
Sharif.
I know it's hard. I think about it a lot. Because of what I've been going to school for recently, and I don't know. I don't know what we can do. I
Hmm.
mean, that restricting um, access to firearms and stuff is only going to affect the people that are going to abide by the law.
Right.
So, you know, in that way, I think okay, maybe it won't work that great, but on the other hand, maybe there are some people that are law-abiding citizens that decide that they're going to do something else, and then maybe if it was a little harder for them to get something, maybe they wouldn't have had the chance.
Right.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword on that, and I'm not sure where the real answer is.
Yeah. I just don't see in a country where people could just take life so loosely, right? So they always say it's not the gun that kills people; it's people that kill people, which is true. So what's wrong with the people here in the United States of America? I think that's the question you have to ask. What is it that's got people ready to kill each other over a basketball going into your yard or somebody knocking on your door? Are
Troy,
we all?
I think it's always been there.
Yeah,
I think it's been there, and I think that with our technology now, we hear about it more, we see about it more. Back 50 years ago, you wouldn't have heard what happened in Uvalde or
right,
Tennessee or any of these other places. You wouldn't have heard about it
right.
because we didn't have the technology to communicate it. So I really think that this has been in play for a long time, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
People go through something every day. So some people can't handle it. But when you do have the gun, you're supposed to have control. You know, but some people don't have control. They just haven't been taught when they was a child too. You don't have to be just a gun, but at the same time, there's rules there, and you have to know those laws before you even use them. You know.
yeah, yeah. And there's some people that just don't go by the rules too. So that's like you said, it's a two-edged sword to try to figure out what to do to stop it. I mean,
But a lot of it is we can't really do anything to the kids because a lot of parents are scared of their kids, you know, and they
yeah,
do what they want to do and they can go get gun right off the street like it ain't nothing, you know.
yeah,
And then violence comes up after that when it comes down to the enemy.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's like Brian said, it's been there. It's been there, and we haven't. It's just been amplified because now as soon as something happens, it hits the wire and we all see it. Um, eh, Compared to I have to go look at the data to see compared to each year, but it's getting to the point where it's out of
Wait,
hand. It's getting to the point where it's completely out of hand. Um, I have firearms. I'm not giving up my firearms. I'm going to go buy some more firearms, and yes, I will be carrying my firearm without my concealed. You know, I need a permit here, but I will be carrying. I will abide by the rules, but just it's come to the point where you have to protect yourself. Uh,
you
Yeah, I
know,
hear that, Troy. I mean, even where Ada, Michigan is, the
mhm.
church I attend. I mean, we have armed security there. I mean, the
Yeah,
church down the street got attempted robbery a couple years ago on Easter morning.
yeah,
And
wait,
I know that I guess one neighborhood's not different really from the other, but stuff that happening out there is gonna it's gonna happen everywhere.
right.
yeah,
That's true, especially
yeah,
on Ada, because Ada is a rural area. There's and if it's happening out there, like you said, it's happening everywhere. Shay says, modern day wild, wild west. Yes. I
yeah.
don't think the wild, wild west ever went away. I guess it's just been instilled in us
Mm.
since the beginning. Go ahead, Sharif.
Now they some other states are different, but when they have gun now they the bullet has to be away from the gun.
Yeah. So here in Florida, if I have a concealed weapon, I can have a concealed weapon. But if I have it in my car, it can't be readily available to me, or else I could get arrested that way. So the gun has to be either in the trunk or in a carrying case, or the gun could be somewhere in the clip could be somewhere else. It just can't be available to me while I'm in the car transporting it.
Yep.
Which really doesn't make any sense to me. Um,
Because you got a lot
I
of
mean,
when would use it
yeah,
to
Yeah,
protect yourself.
yeah. There's some interesting rules that go along with that. Like for instance, my daughter has a CPL,
mhm,
um, but she carries a taser that shoots a projectile.
mhm,
So a little bit of hypocrisy is you don't have to register that,
Oh, wow.
but you have to have a CPO to carry it.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't make any sense.
right. That's some of the laws maybe they need to look at.
Think that one through.
Yeah, I know. I had to call. I called the state police department. I called the sheriff department. I called my local, and the local guy, which was kind of concerning, is my local police department didn't know the answer.
Didn't know the answer.
Didn't know the answer, which made me call the state police department.
Hmm.
And I did call my local police department to let them know what the state said.
Wow. Yeah, so we talked about the red flag laws. We talked about all the mass shootings.
Oh,
And there's a website that says Gun Violence Archive, and I'm just looking at. It shows it's taking a log of when these things are happening. I mean, in April, what was it? This 15th? Let me go back. I think it was April 16th. Nope, April 15th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mass shootings.
Yep.
One of them in California, which has the most strict gun laws. And you think about it, California has strict gun laws. It doesn't seem that way.
So Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, and then what they're doing over there in Chicago, man, that's like Beirut in the inner city. So where are these kids getting these? Well, the guns are available anyways. We got so many guns. I think that's one reason why this country will never be invaded, just because everybody has a gun. Even if you get past the military, you're gonna step on the grounds and
there's people that been in trouble years ago, and there are some people that still hadn't have a gun, and they came registered. And there are some that can register. I don't know how that works for them to. I mean, even if they don't get no trouble anymore after 20, 30 years later. No,
yeah,
when you're younger, you make mistakes. No.
right. Well,
Yeah, I
think
hear you. And I think there should be a remedy for something like that. And even if some people aren't willing to use a traditional firearm, I point to the example of my daughter using a taser that's a projectile, which is a non-lethal option. I mean, maybe that's a compromise that we could do is, if you've been convicted of something, you can't have a lethal option, but you can still have something to defend yourself if you need it. I mean, just throwing that out there. I don't know if that's practical or not, but
I think it's really practical. It's just, I mean, you're able to protect yourself, even though it's a non-lethal weapon. Everybody should have the ability to protect themselves. Like Sharif said, somebody got in trouble at 16, a violent crime or whatever it may be, a fight at school or whatever, and or at a basketball court and gets charged, and that person is now 45 and he can't get a gun because something he did when he was whatever, 18, 19 years old.
Right.
Just doesn't seem right.
Right.
So
Like
what?
if you get in trouble a lot, then you don't get one.
Right. So what do you think about the rule of those who have a medical marijuana card for medical purposes? And I know you're again, you're more of a conservative, Brian. Those who have medical marijuana cards not being able to get licensed weapons.
Yep.
Are you for it or against it?
Right.
I never had to think about that, but I would think it would apply to people that drink alcohol. I mean, if you're under influence, you're under influence, and whatever regulations should apply. Just because you have a card that identifies you as somebody that uses medical marijuana, there's no card that identifies you as using alcohol, and it's not the same thing, but it's close enough for comparison, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, It make a lot of sense. And so
Nope.
I'm going to ask you again. You haven't really decided whether you're going to or not, but there's going to be an empty seat that you would like to go for. What seat is that?
It would be the state representative in my district. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. State representative in your district. All right, cool. Definitely. So, Brianna is a prime example of what we've been talking about for the past year and how many, well, for the past 85 episodes. You need to take be involved uh, in your politics, in your community, to help make things better. And everything that Brian has said, I've agreed with, right?
We
Brian more than likely voted for Trump, and and I probably voted for Biden. And again, this is what we were looking for in this show, is this kind of dialogue between people with different ideologies or different ways of thinking. But it's amazing how close everybody thinks together if they would just talk instead of being in their own bubbles. Um, and I will definitely, like I said, Brian, if you're running and you need some help with any kind of marketing materials or anything of that sort, your Facebook campaigns, and getting all that set up, we'll do it free of charge here at Idiot Box Television, and that goes for anybody else that's out there that wants to run for state representative or city council or alderman. Uh, we will provide those services free of charge, and we do a pretty damn good job too. So we'll make you look really good. Brian, how is Isaac doing?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's working for the state of Michigan right now.
Mm-hmm. He,
Michigan State graduate.
yep. Too bad he didn't go to Michigan, but that's still good.
You know what though? My son Patrick just got accepted for a master's degree at Michigan State.
Did he?
Yeah,
He's going. What is he going for? His master's degree?
master's degree English rhetoric. I don't know, man.
Oh,
It's like,
oh, he's a writer.
yeah, he's writing a book.
Oh, awesome.
He's been published in. He did some movie reviews for The Banner,
Okay.
which is a Christian Reform publication.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look, get us all that information so we could post that. We really want to see. What movie reviews did he do?
Boy, he did a
You know?
few. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Uh,
you didn't read it?
I read a few of them. I didn't read all of them. I told him he was an award-winning author like his father, so I didn't have time.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you came on today, man. Don't make come on. If there's a subject matter that we're going through, we post it about a week ahead. Man, please do come on, give your expertise on certain things, because you know we're three idiots. We don't know anything. We try to get people on so we could get the dialogue going. And I think we got a lot of good information from you, with your background, and people need to know these things. Did we cure gun violence in this episode? Nope. Do you think we will? I don't know. But just talking about it, I think, uh, helps people, kind of navigate through this new environment that we have.
I would
Um,
also say something about some of the firearms stuff is if you're gonna have firearms and you have children, you need to
mhm,
have you need to have a safe.
yeah,
Um,
we
my youngest one's 15. I have a safe. He doesn't have the number to it.
right.
And I think that if you're gonna have a firearm in your house, I think you need to have a safe to lock it up.
Yeah,
Doesn't need to be a big one, just big enough for what you got.
right. And you definitely have it. I'm going to share an experience that I had when I was younger. That could have turned out tragic. I had a 22 rifle. I had a 22 rifle. I was still in junior high school, I think it was. It was me, my cousin Eric, and my cousin Jimmy Haywood. We were all at my dad's house, and we were playing with the gun. We're playing with the 22, pointing at each other, pointing around. And then I say, everybody's, diving behind couches and this and that, and it's not loaded. Pointed it to the ceiling, pow, and it went off. That could have been a gloomy situation.
Right.
And from that day on, uh, that scared the bat shit out of me when that happened. Not to mention that I had to tell my dad. Well, I didn't tell my dad. My cousin told my dad that I did it. And yeah, so locking those up and having them secure when you have stupid young kids in the house is a must. Because it'd be a shame to lose a loved one over, silly kids doing silly things.
When I was growing up, my mom and dad never let me have a gun. So having a gun was real dangerous. So they told me that the only thing I was spoiled growing up, but the only thing I couldn't get was a gun and a moped.
A gun and a moped.
So,
I had both of those.
I did. I mean,
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have, but our family, both on my father's side and my mother's side, Haywoods, everybody hunts. They have guns. Been around guns all my life, so um, they're they are a dangerous tool, and you have to be careful.
yeah, dangerous.
So, who plays tonight? Anybody know who plays tonight? We're gonna switch subjects real quick. We were talking about the NBA when we first came on. Golden State play tonight, Breon? It's Thursday, right?
I think they played last night. I thought,
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought they
but
played
Tampa
last
Bay's
night
playing
too.
tonight.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah,
Who are they playing? They're in the
Toronto.
playoffs, right?
Yeah, is it Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah, Maple Leafs.
Oh,
Yeah, Tampa Bay Lightning. I can't stand them.
Me neither.
I hope they lose.
They'll probably win.
Yeah, I can't stand that team. There's not too many Florida teams I really like. I liked Tampa Bay for a while when they had the GOAT, and then won the championship. But as a Michigan man, I know you're a state family, so you probably don't care too much about Tampa Bay.
oh, Tampa Bay.
Yeah. So Sharif, what we want to do real quick. Let me see how much time we got. You got a couple minutes. Who's going to be in the finals? Your pick, Sharif.
Who's gonna be the final? Ooh, man, you know what? I haven't really. Okay. I have to say, like I said earlier with Chris Paul with his peanut,
Okay.
and
good.
I can see peanut with who, what's the name that just beat Memphis?
Memphis just beat Memphis. The Lakers?
Oh, it was the Lakers. Okay, I don't see the Lakers make it up there.
No.
I don't know who's on the East right now.
All right, Brian.
I'm gonna go with Florida and the Golden Knights, Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah,
For the
I'm
NBA?
talking hockey. I'm
Oh, you're
talking hockey.
hockey.
Hey, Florida's got my favorite player, Giovanni Smith.
Is you like it? You like the Florida team?
I like Giovanni Smith.
You like Giovanni Smith? So
Yeah,
you don't like the team. You just like the player.
I like the player.
I don't know who's going to win in hockey. I'm going to say who was I watching last night? They lost in overtime. New York. I think New York was playing last night, and I was watching New York, and was it the Oilers? I'm gonna pick the Oilers to win it all. Am I off? Am I really off?
You never know.
You know what?
But
Hockey.
Giovanni Smith is a prominent player. He's black. He's from Toronto. The Detroit Red Wings had him for a while, and they gave him up. I don't know why they did,
Man.
but now he's in the playoffs, and Detroit's not.
Right. That always happens to Detroit teams for some odd reason.
The Bucks is looking good right now.
The who?
The Bucks.
The Bucks. My pick for that for the NBA Finals is going to be Denver and Boston.
Oh, okay. Denver. Okay.
Didn't Milwaukee's, or you said Denver and Boston? Oh, Boston. Okay.
Boston. Okay.
Denver and Boston. That's my pick.
I was thinking of Milwaukee's prime player got hurt.
Mutombo. Yeah.
No.
I think about this weekend.
Giannis.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Giannis. This weekend, you're talking about the big fight between Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. I take Tank Davis all day.
How many rounds?
Knock him out. 4.
Ooh.
I'll give him 5. I'm gonna say 5.
Oh shit! I got this.
You're going 6 rounds. Okay.
This round.
Man.
But I mean, if Ryan can survive in 3, I mean, the team's gonna go aggressive with him.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
But don't underestimate Ryan, because Ryan's good too.
He's got a punch.
What's their weight class? Is it?
That's a middleweight, I believe.
Middleweight. I wasn't really familiar with that guy.
140. I think it's 140. So I think that's middleweight.
No, my youngest son went to boxing gym down there on 44th in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Blues Boxing. Yeah, that the guy that runs it was a kickboxing champ as well as a boxer. He's still out there. He's like 60 something, man. He's out there with the kids.
So is your son going to box or MMA type fight, or is he just doing it for exercise?
He wants to do MMA, but I told him our insurance doesn't support that.
Wow, MMA.
He likes it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started with wrestling out here in Lowell. You know, they would just won their 10th straight state championship, 31st straight conference championship.
Wow.
And so he started off in that.
Oh, so he's good at it. But if my son too, boxing, okay, he got gloves on at least, but man, they'll take a foot to the cranium. No, a knee. No, man, that stuff is violent.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of times when you in UFC, most of them have that cauliflower ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of the wrestlers have that too.
Yeah,
wrestlers get that cauliflower ear. Yeah, but tell him no. Stick to long distance running. You don't get hurt.
Yeah, he was really good at that.
Yeah.
Did his first 5K at like 5 years old.
I know. I remember looking at the pictures. Yeah, long distance running. You know, you don't have to battle anybody but yourself and the clock. So, what grade is he in now?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. Oh wow, man, you're getting old.
Yeah. But he's his age when he was born, he could have been a freshman this year. Uh-huh. And if I do it over, I'd probably have him be a freshman.
Yeah.
Got to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, don't we all? We're still growing. Again, we appreciate everybody coming on. And Brian, don't be a stranger, man. We have Art comes on here sometimes. I don't know if Art was on today. He's probably out traveling, but Art comes on. and we really like to have these discussions, man. Really have these discussions. And if there's anything that you have in mind to talk about on these Thursdays, man, please do. Please do email us, Facebook us, let us know. And if you got other people that would like to come on, we'd really like to have them. I want to have the guys don't want me to do it, but I want to have a discussion on the modern day church. Is it really working? And
Hey, it's a good subject.
that's a great subject. And where because there's a book that I read. It's called Unchristian, which was written by 5 pastors over the past 20 years of how people are leaving the church in droves, and it gives a reason why. It gives certain reasons why, and I think that would be a really good subject to talk about. Is the church really doing what it's supposed to be doing? So
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I've been in my church. I've been on a committee that was looking for a new pastor for a while,
Mhm.
and that was a little touchy.
Well, to find the right pastor, or
Yeah, yeah.
so the committee, do you look at the pastor and what are you looking for as a committee for the pastor? Is it to go?
I mean, without getting into it, there's some defined qualities that they're looking for,
Mhm,
um, in an experience level.
mhm.
Um, you know, so it's kind of hard to get into for in a minute or
Right,
so.
right. I
But
understand. So
but
we
yeah,
should have.
it's interesting. We just got a new one.
Mhm.
It took about 2 years
Wow.
to look and find somebody, and
Yeah.
that's a long
Have to
time.
get background check. That's a long time to be looking for a pastor.
A lot of temps.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the discussions on. I know that I'm not sure if you remember Rohamid or not. Rohamid just started his church in Southside Chicago called the geez the Minor Church. So I'd like to get him on and have a discussion. You know, with all the stuff going on today, even with the transgender going up to shoot up the church because basically she thought, and I'm paraphrasing here, that what's being preached over the pulpit is supposedly transgender hate. So it's something to get into. Is it really Christ's love to? I don't want to go into it now either, man, because I'll go on a 45-hour rant. But yeah, I want to get some other pastors on so we could have this discussion on what the church is doing right and what it's doing wrong. But again,
All right, I got to jam. Damn dog's reacting to the
I
lightning.
see, I see. But we appreciate you coming on, Brian. Thanks for
Yep.
all the information
Yep.
you
Thank you
have.
for coming
Again,
on. All
and
right, Brian.
See you
stay in
guys
touch.
later.
Yep, stay in touch. Love you, man.
Yep.
All right, that was great. I got a lot of information from Brian. He's brave enough to come on. Uh, some of y'all out there, y'all need to be brave enough to come on too, man. Speak your piece. I think we'll get a lot of people coming on when we talk about the church. Maybe, maybe not.
You may have to get Jake.
Who?
Jake.
TD Jake?
Yeah. Maybe he can explain them.
Yeah, he can explain how he got all that damn money.
Well,
You got all that money. Your congregation shouldn't be broke. But anyways, that's just my opinion. That's why I'd like to get pastors on so they can defend themselves.
Okay.
But anywho, do your thing, Sharif.
Yep. All right. I want to say thank you for coming. I mean, thank you for watching any about television, and thank you for Brian for coming on the show. And you guys can do the same thing And I want to see you guys next week at episode 86. Peace.
Peace. See you next week.
We're in a lot of trouble because less than 3% of you people read books. Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. You're beginning to believe the illusions. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We